So this painting is called Manna-Fold Wisdom. I know you guys have heard of God's manifold wisdom. God's manifold wisdom is the fact that who he is everlasting, it's eternal, it's infinity, that we could never understand everything there is to understand about God. And so when I painted this, I started sketching that red heart. That red heart, it's just how it began. And that's what I saw. And then it's like God just kept saying, trace that heart over and over and over. And so that's why you see layers of the heart. And anybody who knows me knows that I love color. And I'm a professional beauty colorist. God has always used me really uniquely with color. I'm an award-winning colorist, nationally recognized. And color has always been a big part of who I am. And what's so amazing is I named my first beauty salon Void of Color. These things have always been a part of who I am. And what I was saying when I named my first beauty salon Void of Color, so many people said, why would you name your salon void of anything? But I wasn't saying that it didn't have color. I was saying that it was beyond color, that it was wisdom, that it was knowledge. That's what I meant when I said void of color. And that salon became the most popular urban salon in the city of Philadelphia. And it was known for color. So here, when I painted the hearts, and then I began to see God and the way his hand is placed, it was like he gave me the ability to feel him. And if you notice, it's like his hand is adjusting, but at the same time, he's tapping on the heart. I felt like tracing God, and I didn't know why, but I traced him and layered God as well. So as I began to unfold the mystery of this painting, it was what I was capturing was the manifoldness of who God is, that God is more than one thing at the same time. He's everywhere, and yet he's right there. Excuse me, let me let this person in. Thank you. So when you see the outlines and you see the tracings, this is God saying that I vibrate everywhere, that I'm supernatural, that I'm more than just one. I emanate. That's God emanating. And today, when I was looking at this picture to prepare for you guys, I got closer into that. And here's the amazing thing. I counted how many layers were surrounding God's face. There are 5 layers surrounding God's face. 5 dimensions is what I feel like God is saying. We know that I think we are in the 3rd dimension as human beings here on earth. And then there's a 4th dimension in the Bible, and Bible scholars say that the 4th dimension is where faith is. But God began to talk to me about how time and space is important, as I mentioned. And that 5th dimension is the place that God revealed to me is where all possibilities are, is where there is no sound, meaning that speed is so fast, that things move so fast in the 5th dimension that you can't catch the sound. And I believe this was God saying, this is where he is. This is where his manifold wisdom is. I don't want to really share. I mean, I have so much to share just from this one painting. But I'm going to say this. This painting is called Manna-Fold Wisdom. I could have named it a million different things, but God gave me that revelation. And here's what that means. I didn't spell it like the word manifold, which is Manifold. I spelled it like manna. Manna is the heavenly bread that the Bible talks about. It's heavenly food. When the children of Israel was in captivity and they were walking from the wilderness to their freedom, they complained because God was feeding them food that rained down from heaven, but it was like a rock. And it was a bread that was called manna, for those of you who are not familiar. But the manna was a piece of bread that was so pure, they had to eat it and they couldn't save it for the next day. It would go bad. because it was so pure and it had everything they needed to sustain them. This food sustained not only them, but their clothing, their shoes. It sustained them through the whole thing. And so manna is a heavenly food. It has the ability to sustain, and it's rained down from heaven. I feel like the messages that are within this painting is just that. The word fold, manna-fold, fold. God gave me a new revelation of what that means. So we know about the sheepfold. The Bible talks about the sheepfold. This is where his children dwell at. Anyone who is a part of his flock is called his sheep, right? So God began to say, manna-fold. The fold is a measure or a layer of God. And you reach a level of the fold by your level of understanding who he is. I hope y'all following with me. And God began to reveal to me that there's the sheepfold. There's a threefold cord that the Bible talks about, which is love, faith, and charity. And this is about the union. A threefold cord is about the union of us and God. So we have the sheepfold, the threefold cord, and the manifold. Now, that word manifold, the manifold wisdom of God, literally means information about God so vast that it displays colors and sound. And I truly believe that's exactly why I painted these hearts and all those different arrangements of color. Because the word manifold literally means color of information. So that is the first painting. This is why, I got to choose a few of them because there's still more wisdom in this painting. All of the boards that were at the art exhibit, there was at least 6 boards filled up with information came from this one painting. That's how much is inside of this painting. And I'm going to actually host a class to be able to share all of the information that God revealed out of this particular painting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Manna-Fold Wisdom. This is a part of the Soundboard Collection. This is the main piece, and it is available. This belongs in your home. This is a piece that belongs in your child's room. This is a piece that belongs, there's so much in there. I believe these paintings emanate the power of God. So is there anybody who wants to comment on that particular painting? If not, we'll just keep on going. It's up to you guys. Oh, not to mention that when I counted how many, I wasn't aware of what I was doing it when I was doing it, but I counted the layers of the folds. There are 12 folds that I miraculously ended up painting. And 12 is God's governmental authority, the number of governmental authority. And there's so much that aligns with that as well. So is there anyone who has anything they want to say, or I'll just keep going? Welcome to everybody who has joined us. Okay, so I'm going to share a few simple ones so that it's not like so overwhelming.
Sina,
So
I was going to mention that 12 and 5, you mentioned the 5, which also is the grace of God.
The grace of God, absolutely.
Yeah, and then of course 12 of the government. So
yeah,
I thought that was pretty neat.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So this is the first piece, y'all, that I painted. I wasn't really even sure if I